relating to burnout and stress, I think as leaders, we have to recognize like this is a real big thing. When someone hears my story and they understand that I was really stressed, really burned out, really physically unhealthy, and it all came down to I was struggling financially. And I think when a leader can understand that, they gain empathy for whomever they work with. And they can say to themselves, you know, how do we just understand people a little bit better? Because when we go to work, we just think about work, right? But we are holistic human beings, and finances are a big cause of stress. And we have health and wellness as a category. We have a whole life outside of work that's at home. And a lot of times we bring that stress and all those worries into work. And if a leader can understand that there's stress and there's other things going on, I think the biggest thing that comes to me, Matt, honestly, is just empathy. They can feel for other people and they can perhaps relate to them and understand a little bit more. And I think when we go through that, we just become more kind, I think, to other people. And kindness, I think, really matters. And kindness in the workplace goes a really long way, and it doesn't take a lot of effort, but I think when you have empathy, you have kindness, and you just treat people better, and it creates a very different workplace, a very different culture, and a more loving and inclusive place to work. I've always worked backwards from this, and people kind of, you know, they especially as Americans, we live for the vacation, but a vacation will never cure burnout. And you can never cure burnout. You can never have rhythm to your work and your life if you're doing work that's not meaningful and you're doing work that is not in alignment with your strengths. So as leaders, I think we have to recognize that if there isn't alignment with what we're asking people to do and what they're good at, they're constantly going to be under stress. You have to be in alignment with what we're good at, what we desire to do, what brings us fulfillment, what's meaningful. And if we got the wrong people in the wrong chairs, doing the wrong things, there will always be stress. I think work would come from a place of joy, fulfillment, and love, which is much better than your work output and productivity coming from a place of stress, anxiety, worry, and all those other negative characteristics. And I think that's the biggest thing is, I really hope that people can tell when they work with me that I love what I do. Because you certainly can tell when you work with someone who hates what they do. And I think there's just a very different transaction that happens. And I think those transactions have ripple effects. Like when I go and I have a great experience at a restaurant, it has an effect on me. And then I can take that and I can pass that on to other people. But sometimes when you have negative experiences, it's really easy to allow that to affect you. And then there's a ripple effect there too. So that's what I would say. I think when you eliminate some of that stress and you don't have to worry about that quite as much, your work comes from a place of love and it comes from a place of joy and expression of all of that, and it's fulfilling to you. And I wish I had some statistics here to back you up. This is really hard to measure, but I personally know from my own experience that it just comes from a different place. And I think people can feel that.